And welcome back to HomePage. Rogers has just introduced two Android-powered smartphones in Canada. Android is Google's free open-source software for smartphones. We're here to talk about that and about two new tools, Google Voice Search and the Google Sky Map for Android, basically a planetarium in your smartphone, is Shyam from Google. And you're laughing at me a little bit because the first question I asked you when we were in break is, what is an Android-powered smartphone? So let's start with that most basic of questions.
Yeah, no problem. Android effectively is a free open source operating system. And based on that operating system, device manufacturers can build great mobile devices or mobile phones around that. It's an operating system, upon which you build applications or you can build devices.
So these are applications you can actually install in your cell phone?
That's exactly correct.
And with certain carriers only and with certain phones only, or is this pretty much universal?
No, so Android's a free open source software that's available to all operators, all handset manufacturers. It's out there right now. You can download it, do whatever you'd like to do with it. And that's one of the powerful things about Android is that it's open source. So you can take it, you can modify it, you can extend it, you can innovate with it.
All right, so we're here to talk about two new tools, specifically
Sure.
Google Voice Search. Let's start with that. So what is that exactly?
Yeah, so one of the really interesting things that's happened in the last year and a half is that mobile phones have gone from being, mobile applications have gone from being extensions of desktop experiences to being first-class citizens on their own. So before you'd had desktop search or desktop email, now you have mobile capabilities that really take advantage of things like the camera, voice input, etc. So mobile voice search is a really simple application. It's Google Voice, sorry, it's Google Search, but instead of typing in your input, you say your input. So right now, for example, I could say Mexican restaurant, and I just talk into it. It'll find all the Mexican restaurants nearby. Now, what's really exciting is that it also knows where I am. So instead of just doing a search on Mexican restaurants in Mexico, it knows I'm in the CP24 building, and there's a couple of places nearby, and here's directions and a phone number if you want to make reservations.
So you've got everything in
exactly.
there, and I would assume that this is sort of capitalizing on GPS technology in the phone already. So explain how that works exactly.
So a lot of modern devices today, like the Android, iPhones, etc., they have access to your location. Now, they can use GPS, they can use triangulation, they can use other methodologies, but they have an idea of where you are. And based on that, it's exposed back to the application, and the application can say, hey, I know this is the location, let me do something very powerful with that.
It sounds great, you know, but some people, they just like to use a cell phone to make a phone call or send an email with their BlackBerry. Are you finding that lots of people are using this new application?
Yeah, we are. We're finding that people are really changing their view of smartphones. Before, smartphones were something you'd aspire to one day get. It was for executives, for BlackBerry email, etc. Now it's for your everyday usage. There's a lot of applications that make your day-to-day life really easy. You want to check the weather, you want to check where your friends are, you want to look at the sky, and you want to know what star that is. There's applications that help you do that. So it's really transformed from a communication tool to communication plus usefulness for day-to-day life.
And speaking of that, because that was my next thing that we were supposed to talk about, is a Sky Map for Android, and really quite an interesting piece of technology here. I mean, you could point the phone up towards the sky, and if I understand correctly, it can actually tell you what constellation you're looking at.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. From an end-user perspective, it's really exciting. It's been proven to be great for kids, on dates, actually. A lot of people have looked at it. They're using it to impress their girlfriends. There's Venus and there's Saturn. And what you do is you take your phone, and a phone knows where you are based on GPS, and it knows the time of the day, so it knows what the stars should look like. And now, based on the camera, the accelerometer, and the compass, it also knows which way you're looking and which way you're moving around. So it knows, okay, so there's Venus, and I'll tell you there's Venus. The other way of using their product is you can do a search. You can say, show me Saturn, and there'll be a little red arrow pointing you in the right direction until you see Saturn. So it's an example of technology going beyond communication, right? So here you're using the accelerometer, you're using GPS, using the compass, and these are all things I never thought about a year and a half ago. It's really exploiting the openness of the operating system and the developer creativity, which wasn't there, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And
also the other point is that it's becoming, as you mentioned just a few minutes ago, more accessible because these applications are free. So how can people go and get them?
Well, so on the Android device, you can go to the Android Market. On your device, you just click on the Android Market. There's a list of applications. You can do a search for it. You click on it, it downloads, and you're off to use it.
So is that something I need to type in with my web browser on the phone, or does it come up
on the
as
main menu? You'll see an icon for Android Market. You just click on that, and it's all there for you.
And are there other applications that Google is in the process of testing that you might perhaps want to tip us off on?
No, unfortunately not. But,
but I guess you're always researching this type of stuff, aren't you?
We are. I think there's two things that are exciting. One is the Google applications, and the other part of the third-party applications that are being developed by non-Googlers. And these are people that are out there. There are third-party developers that are taking advantage of all the operating system's capabilities. And we're seeing that with the iPhone, we're seeing that with BlackBerry, we're seeing it with Android. We're really unleashing the creativity of the software community they weren't able to do that before. So I think it's a pretty exciting time to be in the mobile space.
Absolutely, it sounds like it. You know, there was a time when you could just sing a song to your date or, you know, go for a nice dinner, and now you're discussing constellations, which is really quite fantastic. Appreciate you coming on, Shyam. Thanks so much.
Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you. Time now for a quick break here on HomePage. Coming up, your computer questions. Some of our lucky viewers who call or email us with a question will win a pretty great prize. Today, we will be giving away a click-free automatic backup, a 250 gig hard drive to back up your computer automatically. Someone else is going to win a copy of Andy Walker's DVD, Getting Started with Windows Vista. And we've also got a leather flip case for iPod. So call us now. Here's how you can reach us within the GTA. You can dial 416-872-CP24. That's 416-872-2724. Or from outside the area, call us toll-free at 1-888-863-CP24. Email is homepage@cp24.com.
Sunday, murder and mayhem hits Wall Street.
They were going broke between dessert course and coffee service.
As Nichols takes on a billion-dollar scandal.
For these guys, good news is bad, bad news is good.
But the more they lie,
someone isn't playing fair.
The more clever he gets.
Very impressive.